Well, Litecoin has successfully activated SegWit. The long debated change originally intended to improve Bitcoin has now locked in on the lesser known cryptocurrency known as Litecoin. Segregated witness, SegWit for short, has been the subject of Bitcoin's famous scaling debate for a couple of years now, but it's now getting an opportunity to shine on Litecoin. Uh, and its supporters argue, leading some to believe that it'll now help reveal whether concerns about the change are valid for Bitcoin. The change first locked in 2 weeks ago, adding 2 more weeks of waiting to ensure demand for the upgrade remained consistent. Earlier today, the change activated at block 1,201,536. What does that mean? Litecoin users can now begin using the new style of transactions, and there has been at least one such transaction so far. So, we say that Litecoin is first to establish SegWit. There's going to be problems down the road for Bitcoin, and I think some of these problems are already being solved with Litecoin. This can only mean that Litecoin in a certain time in the future is probably going to be one of the best coins to own. I think they're probably a better investment than Bitcoins, to tell you the truth. So if you don't have any Litecoins, you probably should hop on board. Now, I'm going to tell you what. Here's the thing. I think that I've followed Bitcoin for a long time. I've charted it for a long time, going back for years now. I've been charting Bitcoin. And Bitcoin goes through a pattern. There's a pattern it's going through. It's been doing this pattern over and over and over again, repeating the same pattern. All you have to do to see the pattern I'm talking about is pull up the Bitcoin charts going all the way back to when Bitcoin started and take a look. What it does is it makes this pattern where I call it climbing the mountain. It climbs up and 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 up, and then it crashes off. But it never comes back down to where it was before it climbed the previous time. So each successive time it goes up a mountain, the mountain becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, Litecoin is going to be following this same theme, and maybe even more so. So if this holds true, this theme, and it has so far for years now, years and years, this theme has held true, then Bitcoin is going to come back down again, but it's not going to come back down to like $200. You'll never see it at that price again. And Litecoin, the same thing. Litecoin, you'll never see it like down to $2 or $3 anymore. Litecoin is probably going to come back down. Now, I'm going to take a guess, and I don't want you to use this guess as financial advice, but I'm going to take a guess that Bitcoin's going to come down and establish a triple bottom, probably in around $600, $600. And it's going to be there for months. And when it does that, Litecoin is going to probably be down around $10. That's the time for you to back up the truck and load them up this next time around. And because this is going to probably be your last chance coming up to actually get them at a reasonable price. Anyway, reasonable at all. Because when they climb this next mountain, maybe a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, it's going to be into the multiple thousands of dollars for Bitcoins, and it's going to be into the multiple hundreds for Litecoin, probably. Now, this is what's probably going to happen. This is because I'm just saying this because I've seen it follow this pattern before, over and over and over again. And so I'm assuming that it'll follow the same pattern again. And if it continues to follow this pattern, which it has all these years now, and I've seen it do over and over and over again, then you're going to see Bitcoin go down real low, give you a chance to buy. Same thing with Litecoin. And then they're both going to go back up again. Next time they go up, they're going to go to unreasonably high prices, both of them. And making them a fantastic buying opportunity probably coming up. Not right now, though. I don't think this is the real buying opportunity right now because they're both kind of high right now. You got to strike while the iron's hot. You got to get in there when the prices are right on these things. And that's going to be after Bitcoin probably is going to go through a withdrawal from the. Now, see, I'm going to tell you something else too. I think if these hackers hadn't have struck when they did, I think Bitcoin would have made it up to about $2,500 before, or 2,400 or something like that before it completed this cycle of this mountain that's climbing. And I think what it wants to do is it'd like to complete this cycle of this mountain that's climbing right now. And they stopped it partway up. These crazy hackers with their stupid plan to steal bitcoins from everybody. I'll tell you, I don't think much of them. I'm mad as heck about it because I would have liked to have seen Bitcoin follow its path that it's going to follow without any interference. This interfered, and it halted Bitcoin. It also halted Litecoin in their path. Now they might continue all the way to the top. Anyway, regardless, they might start to heat up and go to the top anyway. But it's following a very specific pattern, and so if I'm right, then probably about 6 months from now, you'll have the buying opportunity of a lifetime for Bitcoin and Litecoin both. And maybe a year from now, you're going to watch them climb the mountain again. And next time, or maybe 2 years even, probably a year. And next time they go up, it's going to be an incredible sight to behold. If they go up next time, something crazy doesn't come along and unseat them, and some new cryptocurrency come in and take their place somehow. The thing is the cryptocurrencies that are in position to do this are probably Ethereum, probably Bitcoin, and probably Litecoin. Now, I remember when I first started and all this stuff, I knew that when I first started, it was Bitcoin was gold, Litecoin was silver, and I believe it was China coin or one of those coins was they were coming in. No, I think it was Feathercoin, if I remember right. It's been quite a little while when I get into this, but Feathercoin I think was the coin that was copper. They called it copper. So you had gold, silver, and copper, and the gold was Bitcoin, Litecoin was the silver, and Feathercoins were copper. Anyway, and so this is the way it goes. And they build these mountains. Bitcoin builds a mountain, and that's what it's doing right now. And then it goes down again, and everybody gets depressed, And then what happens is this momentum slowly builds back again, and everybody starts to get excited about it again. And then the next thing you know, Bitcoin's climbing a big mountain again. And every time the mountain is bigger than the previous mountain. So the last mountain was not as big as this mountain. This mountain's bigger, right? And the next mountain coming is going to be bigger yet. And it's just going to keep going this way, because what you have a very deflationary currency. Bitcoin's deflationary. There's only so many. There's a hard limit. And this is what's creating this constant upward trend in value. All the other currencies on Earth are deflationary. Except for gold and silver, and they don't count them as a currency anymore. The manipulators that wanted to manipulate the market on gold and silver, turn gold and silver into a commodity because they're so powerful. They use their power to turn the gold and silver into a commodity and not currency anymore. And that way they could manipulate the price downward using paper short contracts. And it's all crooked. Everything they're doing is crooked. And it won't last. That won't last. But they've been able to hold it together so long because these players are extremely powerful, and they never go to jail or anything like that. They're able to subvert the law of the land. They're able to do whatever they want. They can go out and they can take a nail gun and shoot a guy 6 times in the head with it and say he killed himself. You know what I mean? I remember one banker not long ago, I think it was about 2 years or a year ago or something. They said he committed suicide. They say he shot himself 6 times with a nail gun. Well, I'm just going to tell you what. I'll tell you what. If you were to take a nail gun and shoot yourself once with it, you would be in such a state of pain, you wouldn't be able to keep your hand on the trigger to shoot yourself the second time. And it's just totally ridiculous to say the guy shot himself 6 times with a nail gun. That's just totally ridiculous. It was absolutely, he was suicided. You know what I mean? So these characters, they just didn't want he was a banker, and they didn't want him to spill the beans on the other bankers. Um, I think that myself, Deutsche Bank has been spilling the beans on these other bankers. And Deutsche Bank might be coming under fire at a certain point, because don't even like their other buddies. They'll turn on their buddies if their buddies are not doing what they want them to do. And these bankers are just like a bunch of sharks. They're the worst. They're the worst scum there ever was. They remind me of a bunch of feeding sharks, and they got no mercy whatsoever for any of us people out here, even though we're the ones that support them. We're the ones that keep them in their place, to keep them. It's our money, and they don't treat it like our money. You are an unsecured lender in the bank now, and they can take your money away from you, and they're not breaking the law, and they can never give it back. They don't have to give your money back to you anymore. They can keep it if they want to, and they're completely within the rights of the law, because as soon as you sign that bank account thing and you sign that paper with all that small print on there that you can barely read, they got you, because when you signed to open your bank account, they've changed all the laws. It used to be you were a depositor, and it used to be you had rights, and it used to be they had to give you the money back. And I'm going to tell you something else too that you probably don't know. There's a sign on your bank that says FDIC, means Federal Deposit Insurance Commission, right? And it says you're insured, your account's insured. Well, yes, it is. Technically, it's insured. But I'm going to tell you something you don't know about that. Is they've already written it into law where the first ones that's going to get first swipe of that money, and that insurance money, are the big shots, the bankers themselves. And I'm going to tell you what, the Federal Deposit Insurance Commission don't have enough money to cover the banks if the banks go down. They don't even have 1%. I think they got like 1% maybe or something. They don't even maybe have that, and that money's going to go to their banker buddies first before you. And so if you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, my money's safe because it's insured by the FDIC," that's meaningless, absolutely meaningless. So you basically, when you give the bank your money, you're giving your money away. Now they've been good all these years, ever since the Great Depression till now, and they've earned the people's trust. But I'm going to tell you what, uh, they're scheming a big heist, and it's going to be the biggest heist in history when they take all of your money all at once. When they're not just going to take and do a little bit to one time, because they know they'd destroy this trust. This is why they call themselves savings and loan and trust, because they want you to trust them. If some guy come up to you and he said, "Oh, trust me, trust me." He's always saying, "Trust me. I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you." He's the first guy that you should say to yourself, "He's lying to me." You know? And you got to start thinking. You got to start using your head. That's why God gave you a head. You got to start using your head. These people are out to swindle you. These bankers are the worst corrupt sons of guns there ever was. So anyway, I'm getting away with myself. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next article.